A gas explosion may have happened at LaSalle this morning, but our athletics are also exploding with energy too. Hello, I'm Riley Kapchuk.
And I'm Liv Funk. At this point, I feel like I could sub in for the track team with how much I've been subbing in for Gwen on SportsLine. Don't worry, Gwen, I'll be here to sub in front of the camera or on the track whenever you need. You're watching LaSalle's home for Explore Athletics, SportsLine.
Welcome to SportsLine. Winter sports are coming to a close, and we have all the Explore Sports recaps from this past week.
And later, Riley got to sit down with Isaac and Austin from the baseball team.
But first, let's get into our top three. That's a new one.
Number 1, the LaSalle men's basketball team honored head coach Fran Dunphy this past Wednesday night as the Explorers hosted the Duquesne Dukes. Dunphy, who last night coached his 1,000th game as a Division I head coach, will retire after the season.
Number 2, the LaSalle men's and women's swim and dive teams concluded the 2025 Atlantic 10 Conference Championship this past Saturday.
Number 3, Soleil Morrison from women's track and field was named this week's NovaCare Student Athlete of the Week.
Swimming's done. They had a really good season. We'll get into that later, but they have been one of the teams that have been more showing up. They started off a little rough, but I feel like a lot of teams do that and they end up doing good. We set a lot of, again, we'll talk about it, a lot of program records, personal records. It's just nice to see.
And track's doing good too. It's good to see them doing good.
Track has also been very good. I feel like a lot of program records and even personal records have been broken just in winter track this year, last several months. So that's good for that. And then Fran Dunphy, women's coach, he's wrapping up his time coaching, but he'll still be at LaSalle. So that's
and he's
fun.
the 34th coach in NCAA Division I history to coach 1,000 games, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's exciting. That's it for the top three. Now let's see how our teams did in this week's recaps. The men's and women's swimming and diving team had their A10 Conference Championship meets this past weekend in Hampton, Virginia. In the first race of the meet, the relay team of Gabricia Herbinder, Carlota Ungo, Camilla Frost, and Tori Fenn claimed the third place in the 200-yard medley with a time of 1 minute 40.22 seconds, setting a new LaSalle program record. On the men's side, Tariq Guzik, Andrea Savoca, Felix Jedbrat, and Carter Perkins secured bronze in the 200-yard medley, touching the wall in exactly 1 minute and 27 seconds. The women's 800-yard free relay team of Herminder, Felix La Rogel, Burin Selick, and Zenea Martinez shattered another program record with a time of 7 minutes, 27.71 seconds. Tiffany Braun led the Explorers in the 1 meter diving event, posting a score of 254.1.
Coming from a strong day 1, day 2 consisted of Tori Fenn finishing 6th overall in the 50-yard free with a time of 23.06 seconds, improving on her PR of 23.09. Gabrica Herbinder took 9th in the 200-yard IM finals, clocking in at 2 minutes and 20 seconds, while Andrea Savoca completed the men's 200-yard IM in 1 minute, 47.85 seconds. Felix Jedbrat delivered a LaSalle's first win of the meet, setting both an A10 and program record with a blazing time of 19.2 seconds in the 50-yard free in relays. The women's 200 free squad of Emma Van Selm, Fenn Marine, Shamorhorn, and Herbiter secured third place with a program record time of 1 minute, 31.66 seconds. The men's 200 free relay team of Jedbrat, Tariq Guzik, Austin Wakefield, and Caleb Ingham also rewrote the record books, clocking in at 1 minute, 20.24 seconds to break a LaSalle program record. In diving, Lucas DeCaney finished 4th in the 1 meter event with a score of 299.6.
Wrapping up the A10 championship, Felix Jetbrat claimed second place in the men's 100-yard free, clocking in at 43.16 seconds, while Carter Perkins secured seventh with a time of 44.4 seconds. Gabricia Hermander finished just off the podium in the women's 200-yard breast, taking fourth place with a time of 2 minutes 13 seconds. On the men's side, Andrea Savoca took silver in the 200-yard breast, touching the wall in 1 minute 56.4 seconds. The men's 400-yard free relay team of Perkins, Jetbrat, Noah Fredrickson, and Savoca closed out the competition with a third-place finish, recording a time of 2 minutes 55.92 seconds. In diving, Carter Randall finished sixth in the 3-meter event. The men's finished fifth overall with 326 points, and the women placing eighth with 268 points to conclude their season.
Track and field had an amazing weekend at the Philadelphia Metro hosted by Penn University, with LaSalle setting 10 personal records, 5 season bests, and a program record. Starting on the men's side, the 200-meter dash saw all 3 explorers postseason best times, with 2 sitting personal records. Freshman Evan Diaz led the way with 23.12 seconds, followed by sophomore Dion McIntosh with 23.29 seconds, and Hami Shamasha 23.56 seconds. Sophomore Bram Van Duren placed 12th in the mile with a personal best 4:12.80, while junior Gavin Zanchuk clocked a personal best at 4:27.90. Senior Joe Vanderbilt added a season best 4:23.23 in the mile to close out the meet. The men's 4x4 meter relay team delivered a season best performance, crossing the line in 3:25.87.
On the women's side, sophomore Soleil Morrison landed on the podium in the women's 200 meter, clocking a personal best of 24.80 seconds. Senior Nevaeh Davis, freshman Agunugo Ilunzone, and Stacy LaRose followed closely behind, with all 4 explorers setting season best times, including 2 personal records. Davis also placed fifth in the women's 60-meter dash, crossing the line in 7.74 seconds, just 0.1 seconds shy of her personal best. Freshman Jillian Levet led the explorers in the mile, clocking a personal best 4 minutes 59.69 seconds to earn a podium finish in third place. Junior Ella Varello, freshman Cara Copolino, and sophomore Stella Hammond also posted personal best times, each finishing in the top 15.
Lacrosse hosted Lehigh University this weekend. Despite a strong start, the LaSalle women's lacrosse team couldn't keep pace with Lehigh, as Lehigh struck first, finding the back of the net just 2 minutes into the game. However, junior Sam Klein responded a minute later to even the score at 1. The Mountain Hawks then regained control with 2 quick goals in a 14-second span, jumping ahead 3-1 with 9 minutes left in the opening quarter. Alana Lathan cut the deficit back to 1 with a goal at the 6-minute mark, and sophomore Katie Lichardi tied it back up at 3-3 with 3 minutes remaining in the first. Lehigh closed out the quarter strong, scoring just 8 seconds left to take a 4-3 lead into the second. From there, Lehigh built onto its lead with more goals, eventually reaching the final score of 16-3.
The women's basketball team hosted St. Bonaventure on Saturday. Early in the game, LaSalle struggled offensively, converting just 2 field goals in the first quarter. Tyranisha Bowers opened the scoring with a mid-range jumper off an assist from Aris Magassa, while Mactoon added the only other bucket in the frame as the Explorers trailed 9-4. Heading into the second, the offense came to life in the second quarter with an 11-0 run powered by 4 different players. Defense also played a key role, with freshman Joan Quinn tying her career high with 4 first-half steals. The Explorers held St. Bonaventure scoreless for most of the period, taking a 5-11 lead into halftime. Coming out of the break, Bowers and Sania Jenkins each drilled a 3-pointer to extend LaSalle's lead 21-12. With 7 minutes remaining in the third quarter, however, the Bonnies responded with a 17-8 run, capitalizing on 4 Explorer turnovers in the final 5 minutes to close the gap to 29-28. Entering the fourth and the final quarter, Jolene Armendariz kept LaSalle in the game with 2 clutch 3-pointers, but St. Bonaventure's offense stayed consistent, outscoring the Explorers in the closing minutes, with the Explorers falling 48-41.
It was then time to play Fordham University. Fordham opened the game with a 6-0 run, but Ais Magasa got the Explorers on the board with a jumper at the 7-minute mark. Junior Ivy Fox provided a spark off the bench, knocking down back-to-back shots to cut the deficit to 3 within 48 seconds left in the first. Sophomore Iris Mactoon then sank a layup just before the quarter ended, sending LaSalle into the second frame down by just 1. The second quarter started as a back-and-forth battle, with Magasa converting a pair of layups to pace the offense. However, Fordham responded with a 14-2 run, stretching its lead to 13. Magasa finally stopped the run with a fast break layup with 1 minute left in the half. But LaSalle went into the break trailing 37-25. After halftime, the Rams continued to pull away, outscoring the Explorers 17-11 in the third. LaSalle's 11 points came from 7 different players, but struggling to close the gap. In the final quarter, Fordham held its lead as both teams traded shots. Jolene Armadaras and Tyranisha Bowers each knocked down 3-pointers, but it wasn't enough to overcome the deficit.
Men's basketball team played in a tough-fought battle against Duquesne last night. The night also marked a historic milestone for head coach Fran Dunphy, who became just the 34th coach in NCAA Division I history to coach 1,000 games. Dunphy was honored in a pregame ceremony celebrating both his career and his upcoming retirement at the end of the season. Duquesne came out strong, opening the game on a 12-0 run before LaSalle responded with 9 of the next 12 points to stay in the game. The teams continued to trade baskets, with the Dukes holding a 23-15 lead after a 3-pointer. LaSalle then capitalized at the free throw line, scoring 7 straight points to cut the deficit to just 1 with 2.5 minutes left in the half. After a quick 5-point surge from Duquesne, Corey McKeaton knocked down a buzzer-beater 3-pointer to bring the Explorers within 3 points by halftime. The Dukes extended their lead early in the second half with an 8-3 run, pushing the score to 36-28 by the first media timeout. Both teams traded baskets over the next 10 minutes, with Deshaun Shepard sinking a pair of free throws to keep the Explorers within distance with only 5 minutes remaining. LaSalle made a crucial 6-0 run, capped by a Shepard dunk that trimmed the deficit 53-48. Duquesne briefly extended the lead, but Deuce Jones responded with 4 straight points to make it a one-possession game. As time was running out, Shepard's free throw at 2 minutes brought the Explorers within 1 point. However, LaSalle was unable to complete the comeback as Duquesne held on for the 67-62 victory.
So, a lot of wins, a lot of losses.
Yeah, basketball hasn't been, both men's and women's haven't been.
Going through a losing streak.
But it happens. It happens. I feel like it happens to every team. Lacrosse, we're seeing it now too. I was very positive. Not Gwen negative. I'm still supporting them.
Yeah, we're still positive that they'll make their comeback.
Yeah, definitely. But they did. They started off strong. Sometimes you start strong, you go down, then you just go back up. That's the thing. You just go back up. But then we have track with the personal best, season best.
Yeah.
Too many.
I know.
There was a lot of them.
10 personal records, 5 season bests, and a program record. That's crazy.
Good. That's really good for LaSalle. And that's something the team needs to go forward and have a successful winning team. So track is on a good standing.
Yep.
We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, I had the chance to sit down with members of the baseball team.
Hi there. You might wonder what a famous Hollywood celebrity like me is doing reading in the dark. Is this some new sort of Hollywood method acting? No, this is quite real.
Did you know that Americans use about 4 times as much energy per year as the global average? We waste energy left and right, despite the fact that the dirty fossil fuels we use to power our energy sources wreak havoc on the natural world and destroys valuable wildlife habitats.
By reading with my solar-powered night vision goggles, I'm saving energy and looking sleek.
You don't have to sit in the dark like Ed Begley Jr. to save the world. Fight climate change by speaking up for cleaner, smarter energy, including rooftop solar.
Oh, that's way better. Oh.
Do your part and find out other world-saving tips at betterthaned.org.
Oh, hi. I suppose you're wondering what an A-list celebrity like me is doing in a place like this. You must know, I'm saving the world. Oh, hi, Beth. Yep, saving the world again. Did you know that 40% of all the food produced in the United States is thrown away? That means everything that went into that food, the pesticides, the water, the land, was all for nothing. Just look at this perfectly good food thrown in the trash. The pizza with extra Cheerios, these goldfish and Band-Aid tacos. And just look at this perfect trash burger. This pasta dog looks delicious.
You don't have to dumpster dive like Ed Begley Jr. to save the planet. Fight food waste by shopping smart and using what you buy before it gets trashed.
That's way better. Ooh, arugula.
Do your part and find out other world-saving tips at betterthaned.org.
Welcome back to On the Sideline. I'm Riley Kapchuk, and joining me today is Austin Rue and Isaac Kowalczyk from the LaSalle baseball team. How are you guys today?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
In 2020, LaSalle University's baseball team was cut due to financial challenges that came with the pandemic. Now, in 2025, LaSalle baseball is making a comeback. What drew you guys to be a part of this team?
Mine was just kind of opportunity. It was a great opportunity to come here, higher level baseball, successful team in the past, and just being in Philadelphia is kind of great.
Yeah, mine was also opportunity. It was a gap year to grow and develop, and so I think that really stood out to me as what I wanted out of this.
And how does it feel to be a part of a program that is essentially starting from scratch?
It's definitely different. It's kind of weird because right now there's only 12 of us here, so we're like building a culture. So it's not your typical practice 5 days a week and then you have games on weekends and stuff. So it's a lot different, but it's fun because we just get to work hard right now.
Would you say the same thing?
Yeah, it's special. It's special because we get to do something that not a lot of people get to do, which is start fresh and create something from the ground up. So I think, with us being here now, kind of understanding the culture of LaSalle, bringing in guys next year, we'll be able to kind of get them on board, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
What was the recruiting process like for you guys, and how did LaSalle's baseball program stand out considering they haven't had a season in 5 years?
Well, for my recruiting process, it was basically through Twitter, which was or X. It's the big recruiting for baseball. So a lot of it was through there, and then I got in touch with Coach Miller and had some really good conversations with him, and he definitely made it really appealing to come here and offered a lot of cool opportunities this year to train and what we're doing here already, and especially next year too, the opportunity there.
Yeah, for me, I'm from not too far away, so I've heard of LaSalle and I knew about the program and everything. And I was in the transfer portal. My dad mentioned the whole program coming back, and so I reached out to Coach Miller, and he was just super excited about everything. And he kind of just was like, I want you to be a guy. So,
what do you guys think the biggest challenge is going to be helping to build this team back up?
I think setting a strong culture is something that's really hard to do, and something that I've seen teams struggle with in the past. But if you can do that early on, you can set up a really good foundation for a place where everyone wants to grow, get better, get to the elite level, and make something special for everybody on the team.
And what would you say some of the goals the team has? What are some of the goals the team is setting for its first season back?
A little different than a normal program. Typical programs are going to fight for a championship every year, which we definitely are going to fight for a championship. But just a rebuild, have a successful year with culture, winning games, of course.
Yeah, I think we're not going to be not wanted to be treated like an underdog. I think we're going to want to, compete right away, and I think that's what Miller's building right now, and I think that's really cool to be a part of.
And how would you both describe your team's chemistry so far, with there only being 12 people?
It's good. It's different for sure. Like I said, in a normal team, you may not all hang out together at all times, but right now, with it being so little, we are all together. We do everything together all the time. So I think the chemistry's good. We're building a good culture. It's just, yeah.
It helps that we're all on campus too. We all literally live in Basils and Newman, so we're all just pretty much in this small little room together every day, played video games, having a good time. So we're building a something special early on, and I think that'll really show next year when we all come together and kind of incorporate everybody into that.
Yeah, that goes into my next question. With having such a strong team chemistry, do you think that's going to lead to success when the season actually starts?
100%. If you enjoy who you're around and enjoy who you're playing with, playing baseball is so much more fun, and it also takes a lot of the stress off of you as well.
Yeah, culture and chemistry, I believe, can be more important than athletic ability and just talent for a team aspect.
And are you guys familiar with your guys' conference yet? Are there any specific games next season that you are looking forward to?
I think we're pretty familiar, yeah, the A10. For me, I always want to attack the top dog. I know VCU was a regional contender last year, so they're really good. Richmond's really good. And then, I have some friends at George Mason and George Washington, so that's kind of cool. But just kind of attacking that top dog right away.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm just ready to play. I'm familiar with everybody in the league, and I'm ready for us to get after it and compete at a high level.
What's one thing you're most excited about heading into next year?
Playing games, just competing. Like right now, again, we don't have a season right now, so we're just practicing every day. So right now, every other school in the country is playing games, so it's kind of hard watching and not playing. So you got that itch right now, and so next year with a year under your belt here, it's going to be real fun to play for a school that you've been eager to play for.
Yeah, the same thing.
Well, us 12 guys, we're pretty hungry to play, not being able to play this year. So next year we're going to be even more hungry, and with a whole team of new guys, everyone's going to be ready to go.
And what positions do you guys play? How would you describe your playing style and what you brought to any team you've ever played for?
You go ahead.
I'm a middle infielder. I'm a shortstop, second baseman. Not the biggest guy. I'm just a quick speed kind of guy. I feel like I bring a lot of athletic ability. I can kind of play anywhere on the field.
So I'm a tall right-handed pitcher. So my role on the team is usually come out and try and throw gas. Another part to me is I bring a lot of energy. I love being on the bench as well and hyping up my teammates when they're hitting. And that's a big part, I think, for a role player for pitchers as well.
Definitely. And then can you guys just walk us through what a typical training session with this team looks like so far?
Well, right now we're doing lifts 3 to 4 times a week. And we just started practicing outside now that the weather's nice. At about 8:30 in the morning, we get up, go train, a couple hours, take a little breather. We'll probably go out on our own, train again, and then we'll get our lifts in at night.
And since it's been 5 years, where do you see LaSalle baseball in another 5 years from now?
I see us as a contender for the conference for sure. Our coach, Dave Miller, he's incredible. He's awesome. He was the coach for a few years before it got cut, and he turned a losing program into a winning program in just a few years. So I definitely see us being a contender and a winning team for sure.
Yeah, I know one of his goals is be a destination place to play. So in 5 years' time, I think he will for sure make that a reality.
And for the both of you, is there a legacy you want to leave as being a part of this newly reconstructed team, comeback team?
Personally, you always kind of want to leave something behind, but I just want to leave behind a good culture and a winning program. I think that's the most important thing you can leave behind for the next kids.
Yeah, I would kind of piggyback off that, say the same things.
And then lastly, in 2020, the baseball team had Dave Portnoy do his little pizza review thing at the Explorer's Den. So does your team have anyone special, anything planned, or is that still in the works? What's going on with that? You go get Dave Portnoy, someone else?
Dave would be a pretty cool bring back. We haven't secured that one yet or even gotten in touch with him. So Dave, if you're watching,
we've tried, yeah.
Come to LaSalle baseball.
So no one in the works?
Not yet, but we've got some pretty cool pro connections, I think, that we're building. When it comes to gear and stuff, they're helping us out a lot in the future, hopefully.
That's exciting.
Yeah,
that's exciting. Well, thank you guys for talking with me today. I wish you guys the best of luck with your season next year. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to go over all the upcoming games. Stay tuned.
When a child in your life requires intensive care, their health fragile, their condition complex, certified acute care pediatric and neonatal nurse practitioners will give you the information and support you need to make the best decisions for your child. while providing the critical care your child needs. Trained to diagnose and manage life-threatening conditions and emergencies, they are trained to make a difference. Learn why at certifiednurses.org.
Do you know a veteran in need? Nation's Finest, through the VA's Supportive Services for Veteran Families program, helps veterans and their families struggling with rent, employment, and other housing-related costs. Today, Nation's Finest operates more than 30 locations in California, Arizona, and Nevada, helping thousands of veterans every year. Visit nationsfinest.org or call 1-833-468-9676. That's 1-833-468-9676.
Welcome back. We have a busy week of Explore Sports, so here's what you have to look forward to. Water polo will take on Whittier College in Whittier, California tonight at 9 p.m. Friday, they will play Laverne at 2 p.m. our time and UC Irvine at 6:15 p.m. Sunday. Sunday, they will compete against California State at 3:45 p.m. and later Concordia at 7:30 p.m. Men's and women's track will compete in the Atlantic 10 Indoor Track and Field Championship at Virginia Beach at 9 a.m. both Friday and Saturday. Good luck, Gwen.
Women's lacrosse will travel to Syracuse, New York, Saturday to play Le Moyne at 11 a.m. Women's basketball will play their last regular season game against VCU at home Saturday at 2 p.m. They will then compete in the Atlantic 10 Women's Basketball Championship starting Wednesday. Men's basketball will travel to Washington, D.C. to play George Washington University Saturday at 6 p.m. They will then travel to Virginia to play George Mason at 7.
That just about wraps it up for us this week. If you can't make it out to see the Explorers play, be sure to tune in next week for our coverage. Keep up with this weekend's other sporting events by visiting goexplorers.com.
Also, check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/LaSalleTV and on Instagram at SportsLineLTV. We welcome you to send us your thoughts and suggestions there. Before you go, we want to see you repping LaSalle. Send us a selfie from any upcoming LaSalle game via our Instagram, and you might get a shout out in the next episode of SportsLine.
For our entire SportsLine team, I'm Riley Kavchuk.
And I'm Liv Funk. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you at the game.